Chicago, 1893. The world's Columbian Exposition has opened its doors. This is the White City, a sprawling, futuristic metropolis built of gleaming plaster and steel, magnificent against the shores of Lake Michigan. Over 27 million people traveled from across the globe to see it. Visitors flooded the streets, the train stations, and the newly built boarding houses. The city swelled with immigrants, tourists, and dreamers, creating an environment of near-total anonymity. Among those millions were thousands of young women arriving unchaperoned from rural towns. They were looking for independence, seeking work as secretaries or assistants, and needing a safe place to stay. This glowing photograph of the fairgrounds at night captures the optimism of the era, but that blinding light cast a very long shadow. In an overcrowded, chaotic city filled with young transients, a sudden disappearance would go unnoticed. The greatest celebration of human achievement in American history simultaneously created a limitless, untraceable supply of victims. Just 1 mile away from the fairgrounds, in the Inglewood neighborhood, lived Herman Webster Mudgett. The world knew him as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. He maintained a useful public facade. He was a handsome, sharply dressed pharmacist who charmed elderly widows, ran a local drugstore, and projected the image of a highly educated, trustworthy gentleman. Directly across the street from his pharmacy, he constructed a massive 3-story building. It occupied an entire city block, dominating the local skyline. While the surrounding neighborhood saw merely a hotel, the hidden blueprints revealed an industrialized processing plant for human lives. Holmes analyzed the anonymous crowds flooding his city and identified exactly what they needed most. By offering them lodging, he weaponized their vulnerability to feed his machine. To understand how this building operated, we look at the doctor's early years in medical school. During his training in anatomy, he internalized a cold logic. Other human beings were financial resources. This archival photograph of a late 19th century medical examination room shows where Holmes learned to manipulate human remains. Before graduating, he stole cadavers from laboratories, disfiguring them to look like accident victims to collect fraudulent payouts. He carried that model to Chicago. As seen in this historic New York life insurance company advertisement, life insurance was a booming industry. Holmes exploited this by requiring his pharmacy employees to carry massive policies, naming him beneficiary. With his early operations funded, he began constructing his Inglewood building in 1887. To keep his blueprints a secret in the middle of a neighborhood, he utilized a concept we now call compartmentalized construction. Looking at the floor plan, his workflow is clear. Holmes constantly fired and replaced crews. One team framed a wall, another installed plumbing. Working in disconnected zones, no laborer understood what they were assembling. Only Holmes held the complete design. Holmes engineered a structure where the architecture itself acted as his primary accomplice. The building operated in 3 distinct phases. Phase 1 was the lure. He used employment and his inherent charm to secure control of victims' life savings before finally inviting them to stay upstairs. Phase 2 was the trap. This cross-section shows soundproofed upper floor rooms with doors locking only from the outside. Hidden pipes pumped lethal gas into sleeping victims' rooms. Then a trapdoor opened, plunging bodies silently down a hidden chute into the basement. Phase 3 was the erasure. Down in the windowless subterranean level, Holmes maintained a massive, human-sized furnace and deep vats of acid. These were specifically designed to rapidly eliminate human remains. The final step made the entire system self-funding. Holmes employed a local man to strip the remaining bones, articulate the cleaned skeletons, and sell them for a profit back to medical schools. This 3-phase system integrated murder into a closed-loop, profitable industrial process that left behind absolutely zero physical waste. In October 1893, the World's Fair closed its gates. The 27 million tourists went home, and Holmes' supply of untraceable transients vanished. For the first time in years, he needed money. Desperate, he abandoned his Inglewood castle and returned to road-based insurance scams. The precision of his Chicago operation dissolved into the sloppy murders of his accomplice, Benjamin Pitzel, and Pitzel's 3 children. His capture was an exercise in irony. The mastermind who operated a murder factory in Chicago was finally arrested in Boston on a warrant for stealing horses in Texas. The killing machine never failed. The operator was only caught when necessity forced him to step outside its protective architecture. Following his arrest, Chicago police navigated the windowless corridors of the structure on 63rd Street. Inside, the neighborhood rumors were confirmed. Sifting through the basement, investigators found microscopic fragments of human existence. Bits of bone, charred fabric, and, buried deep in a pile of ash near the furnace, a single tiny gold chain from a woman's shoe. This graphic illustrates the permanent mystery of the case. Because of the number of transients who vanished during the fair, the highest estimates place his potential victim count at 200. Yet the physical remains that can be definitively verified total just 9 victims. That massive gap is the direct intended result of the acid fats and the crematorium functioning exactly as they were engineered to. The true legacy of the murder castle remains the flawless, industrialized erasure of the hundreds of victims who will never be named.